Hello internet world, and welcome to a new video on the Geekanoids channel, and welcome to question of the day number 9. We're in the 9th week of doing question of the day, and this has turned into be a really fun series to do actually, because I normally talk about tech, more tech, a few gadgets, some tech and tech all the time, but question of the day has brought up some really interesting questions. In fact, for a couple of the weeks, or it might have even been 3 weeks, I was getting questions about cars, which was really interesting. And the question that's come up for the topic for today is my opinion on the World Cup 2018. And I never ever thought I would be talking about football on the channel because I don't really watch sort of regular football when it's in season, but certainly the World Cup I do watch. I make a point of watching it and I thoroughly enjoy it. So I'm going to be talking about a few of the games that I've personally watched all the way through. In fact, I think I've pretty much watched all of them, and engage with you as well, because I know probably a lot of you are into football and indeed are watching the World Cup. Now this is a live broadcast, so I will just say a big hello to the first 3 or 4 of you in the live chat. Big hello to Best Tech LJL, to Psycho GBR, Sophie G, and It's the Brown Guy. Hello to you all, thank you very much for tuning in. It's the Brown Guy's coming straight away with a question, just asking should I get the Note 8 or the OnePlus 6? Really difficult question to answer. I'll quickly answer it though. I think the OnePlus 6 is a superb smartphone, so I would personally go for that unless you really need the S Pen. If you really need the S Pen, like the features of that little stylus, then obviously go for the Note 8 or wait for the Note 9, which is coming out in a couple of months. Anyway, back on topic. Let's just get straight back on topic with the World Cup 2018. And it's been a really good World Cup so far. I think looking at it from a UK or England perspective, we sort of start off in England thinking, we're not going to do very well, based on previous World Cups, and then the first game goes well and we think yes, you know, and we're really sort of excited, and then a few games in and we think that England are going to go all the way, and it's been a good World Cup for England so far, and it's been a really interesting World Cup for me to watch as well, because we've got this referee, like the video replay that they can look at now. And that's been really interesting, seeing that happen, where they look back on camera at what's happened, and then maybe award a penalty afterwards, or a yellow card or red card, etc. So that's really interesting to see that in use during the World Cup. Not always in use accurately, I don't think, and that's one of the topics I want to talk to you about today, in particular the England-Panama game, which England won 6-1, which was a really good result. I do think that we were the stronger team, obviously, so probably had it a little bit easier than we might do in later games. But what I want to talk to you about, I was going crazy, and I don't really normally get that passionate about football, but I was going absolutely crazy in the holding that was going on and the shoving to the ground. You could see the Panama players with their arms around the England players, especially in the box when like a corner was being taken, for example, and really shoving players to the ground, sometimes sort of whacking them on the backs. I saw a fist go to the face on one of the other players, and it's just absolutely crazy. It's very unsportsmanlike. I'm not saying Panama are the only team to do this. I've seen it happen in the other games as well, but I think it was just really obvious in this game because we saw it happen a lot. So let me know in the chat your opinion on all of the holding and the pushing. I know things like when somebody's on the ball and somebody's in the chase, you know, they get grabbed by the shirt occasionally, but I've never seen to this extent like full arms round another player and really shoving them to the ground. It's absolutely crazy. Other games that I've sort of really enjoyed was the Germany-Sweden game. I think this was the match where Germany scored that winner right at the last minute. There's been a lot of games like that, but that was a really interesting game to watch. I also watched Poland-Colombia, which Colombia won 3-0. So that was a really good. That was just yesterday, I think. There was one game, and I think it was there was another high-scoring game. You're going to have to chime in the live chat. But it was about the 90th minute, and I just got up and walked out of the room to get on with something else because I thought that it was finished. And then there was another goal or another couple of goals scored in the last couple of minutes. Absolutely crazy. I'm going to try and find that result actually. Where was that result? It might have been the Belgium-Tunisia game where there was another goal right at the last minute. But some absolutely fantastic games to watch so far. Some of the earlier games, let's see if I can remember those, because I can't remember all the way back to when it first started. France-Australia was a really good game. That was 2-1. That was one of the earlier games. And of course Russia-Saudi Arabia, which I think was the very first match, where Russia won 5-0. That was a really exciting match as well. So there's been some really good draws so far. I think next England are playing, let me just find that, England are playing Belgium next Thursday, so that'll be a really interesting match. And I'm also looking forward to tomorrow at 3 PM the Denmark-France game. So of course my loyalty with who I want to win is with England, but I'm enjoying the whole thing, enjoying the whole World Cup. It's absolutely fantastic. But anyway, let's take a look inside the live chat. There's plenty of you in here. It's the Brown Guy. Do you think I'm Bear Rich Note 9? Well, Note 9 is going to be the latest phone, but if you're choosing between those two you mentioned earlier on, then obviously the Note 8. Psycho GBR, Tunisia thought they were playing rugby with Harry. That's a really good comment. Very, very good. Akram Tariq, are you planning on reviewing TV cinema surround sound systems? Not so much. They're very difficult to get in. They're very bulky. One thing I might get into review is the very latest Sonos, the soundbar from Sonos. Very interested in getting that in to actually review. Sumunath, hello to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's the Brown Guy. Give me a free Note 8, please. I have no Note 8s here, unfortunately. And Sujal Preet, hello to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Back on topic again. If you've got anything at all to say about the World Cup, then please do chime in. It's not a normal subject matter that I cover on the channel. My knowledge of football is very limited, but I just know that I enjoy the World Cup. Benji, what do you think about Messi underperforming? Probably not a question for me again, because I don't really study football a great deal. But I have heard that people weren't impressed with his performance. Wasn't he returning after injury? I think I heard somewhere. Was he returning after some time out? I'm not too sure. Akram Tariq saying, yes, please do the Sonos. I will certainly try. What is your current TV setup? Currently, I'm using a 2018 model 65-inch Sony Bravia TV. It's not an OLED TV. It's using LED or LCD technology. So that's what I'm currently using. For audio, I'm using the Soundbox from Sky. That's what I'm currently using. Cloudy Weather, are you a fan of Cristiano Ronaldo? He will score tonight again, I think. I think he will score tonight. I think he scored 3 goals in one game, didn't he? Absolutely amazing player. Absolutely amazing. And I was discussing this with my son, actually. The difference between Ronaldo and some of the other players, and some whole teams, actually, is some of them seem to take that extra risk. Now, I know Ronaldo's very sort of talented footballer, but I think it also comes down to trying something different and being very passionate about the game and the country he's representing and playing for. And I think if more players took that risk, you know, to try and push their skills to the limit, I think we would see more of these highlighted players like Ronaldo. But yeah, he is definitely going to score again tonight, and I will be watching, obviously watching that match. Colin S, this looks like a much more organised England team, Dave. Yeah, I think it does. And I also think what's happened, by bringing in a lot younger players, there's a different sort of feel within the team. I think that even though they play for different clubs outside of the World Cup, they've all gelled together really well. That might be to do with social media to a certain extent, because they're probably in contact with each other a lot more. And I also think there's not this rivalry. When we've seen previous World Cups, there always seems to be this rivalry between the players and their local clubs. But it doesn't seem to be any of that. They just seem to really be running with it and really getting on well together. It's really nice to see as well. Very, very different England team this year. We've also got Sujal Preet. Thanks for giving me a shout out. No worries at all. And I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you're watching this after the live broadcast, let's just take this last one. We've got Gritty Shaker saying, since the US didn't qualify, I haven't been watching the World Cup. I'm rooting for England though. Awesome to hear. And last comment of the or last question of the video: can you recommend an Android box to watch the World Cup outside of the UK? I'm not very good at recommending things like that for outside of the UK. You could probably find a catch-up TV service and actually watch it via a VPN on your computer. That would probably be the way I would go. So maybe install that on a tablet or something like that. Not too clued up on TV boxes that would allow you to watch it outside of the UK. So sorry I couldn't help directly on that, but look at some VPN services. I'm sure you can find a way of watching it on some sort of catch-up service. So anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. As I was saying, if you're watching this on the main channel after the live broadcast, then please do leave me some comments or questions below. And if you've got a question that you want me to consider for next week's video, leave that in the comments section as well. Don't forget to hit like on the video, and if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and then you get notified when I either upload a new video or when I go live on YouTube. Thanks very much for watching. Have a fantastic week everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one.